What is up, Story Geeks? We are live again with another bracket challenge. What are we today, Daryl?
Star Wars.
We had to do it.
May the Force
How many
be with
podcasts
us.
have we done on Star Wars up to this point? Almost
713. No, not that many. A lot.
a lot.
Wow. This microphone is like, it's part of my body.
Yeah, shift it out to the left. There you go.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
We have probably done the most podcasts on the Story Geeks podcast in regards to Star Wars. So this bracket battle, this bracket challenge, if you will, is going to be very, very intense. The heroes versus villains. In some ways, it's actually easier because we're so familiar with these characters and they're so rooted in 40 years.
But will that just make it harder?
That's exactly the case. Will it either be harder or will it be easier? I have no idea. If you're in the chat, make sure you announce yourself to us. Let us know you're out there. Obviously, we want to know that you're listening in, and you will have a chance to vote because these folks do not move forward without your votes.
That's right. And people are kind of coming in as we go, so let's...
Yeah, just going to talk a little bit while people cruise in. How was your day today, Daryl? No, I'm kidding. A little bit of a different angle today. We're still trying to work on the angle. Last week, if you watched the show last week, I had two of the front tripod arms on the table, and Daryl and I, as we do this, the whole video is going like this. We're not going to do that this week, so it's a little further away.
That was our Cloverfield episode.
Exactly. There's a lot of lens flare in that episode, as it turns out.
Yes, Mary, the Flash shirt is my official uniform. Because I own two of them, and they're comfortable.
By the way, you guys might not be able to see this, but this is actually a Wonder Woman shirt. So there's actually Wonder Woman logos circling the star.
So who's girlier?
Oh, me. I'm
Oh,
happy.
you're good with it.
I'm happy with that.
Oh, me.
Well, shall we jump
you got the
into...
tattoo, though.
I do have the tattoo.
I don't
The
have
tattoo
any
helps.
ink,
Yeah.
so.
Well, one day. One day we'll get Daryl to get a tattoo.
Sucks for you.
Daryl will get a big Story Geeks tattoo on him somewhere. Sounds painful.
It does.
What's up, Freddie? How you doing?
Doing all right.
All right, behind the scenes, Freddie's with us.
Yes.
He's going to be contributing to the podcast or the
That's
live
right.
show. He's also going to be our guest on the podcast. We record our podcast basically right after the live show every week. And on tonight's podcast recording, which will come out in, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks probably, is going to
15th,
be...
I think.
Oh, the 15th?
I think. Maybe
Top
later.
10 geek TV shows. So you're going to want to listen to that one.
That's right. Which I'm pretty sure a couple people have asked for.
Yeah, a couple people asked for it. Jim has asked for it for sure. Always love to hear from Jim. Thank you, Jim. Jim has basically scheduled about a half of the year's podcast for us.
Yeah. Yeah, we've hired Jim
awesome.
as our executive editorial director.
Yeah,
So
that's right. Well, we have a good bracket for you today. The first matchup that we have on the bracket, I think it's going to be easy.
And by the way, vote as quickly as you can tonight because these things get long. So
Yeah, we're going to try and move faster tonight.
we know there's a bit of a delay, but throw those votes in as
Throw them in as
you
quick
can.
as you get them because we're going to go through it about the first round especially. We're going to go fast. Then we'll slow down a little bit in the second round.
Jim says he's good with being our executive editorial director.
Perfect. That's great. So the first matchup of the night is going to be Luke Skywalker versus Cassian Andor.
And if you don't know who Cassian Andor is, just vote for Luke.
That's right. Cassian is from Rogue One, and Luke Skywalker is from most of the movies. He's only not in, 3 of them? So, There you go.
Do we have to talk about this? I mean, I feel like we're
No.
Freddie?
Luke?
Yeah, it's got to be Luke,
Right?
right?
It's way Luke. There's no way it's not Luke.
Sorry, Cassian.
I think Cassian's going to go down, even in the comments.
Yeah.
No Cassian in the chat.
No Cassian
I
in
think
the chat.
All Luke.
Luke moves
No love for
through.
Cassian Andor.
Caitlin says, "Can you describe Luke, please?"
He's like Sebastian Stan, but blonde.
And older.
Yeah. Next up, Leia versus Holdo. This is kind of like a interesting matchup here.
It's kind of a mean matchup because they're buddies.
It is
You
kind
know,
of mean, yeah.
There's that nice, sweet moment between them when they part ways in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But we're
Yeah.
going to make them fight each other.
We're gonna see what happens. This one, just so you guys have a little bit behind the scenes of the bracket too. We actually seeded each of the heroes and villains. So some of them were number 1 seeds, some of them were number 2 seeds, and it worked out a little nicer that way. We're still improving our bracketology.
That's what we're calling it. Bracketology.
That's what they call the NCAA stuff, is bracketology.
Oh,
Who do you
that's a
vote
thing?
for? Holdo or Leia? Leia?
Leia.
I like Holdo, but there's no way she holds water when it comes to facing up
Chad
against
is
Leia.
Leia all the way.
Leia, I could have predicted that one. So this will move pretty fast in round 1. Ooh, this is a little bit more challenging. Obi-Wan versus Admiral Akbar. I don't think it's challenging for Daryl. What do you think, Freddie?
I didn't say anything.
What did you think?
Obi-Wan.
But Obi-Wan's one of your favorite characters.
Alec Guinness Obi-Wan is, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, Ewan McGregor is one of my favorite characters from the prequels, but...
This is my only time to be able to say this,
much.
so I have to be able to say it here. And you know what happens if you vote for Obi-Wan. It's a trap! Somebody had to do it, and it was me. I vote for Obi-Wan as well.
Chat's all on Obi-Wan.
Chat's all on Obi-Wan.
Sorry, Akbar.
It's a trap.
You tried your best.
He tried his best in the Last Jedi too. All right, so
Now this one might be hard.
this is a little bit more difficult. Finn versus Chewbacca.
I have to think, which is never good.
I answered it in my phone, but I'm not even gonna look at my phone. I'm just gonna go off my gut in this one.
Monty makes a good point. He says Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars is easily one of the best characters in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Probably true, but for this, we're going strictly movies.
Oh yeah, that's a good caveat. We're going strictly movies in this one. Strictly movies. Finn versus Chewbacca. Freddie.
Chewbacca.
Daryl.
Yeah,
Jay.
Chewbacca.
Chewbacca.
It's closer though.
I'm gonna go Finn. I'm gonna go Finn on this one. I might be the only person going Finn.
Monty voted Finn.
Way to go, Monty.
Everybody else
I
is
think
Chewbacca.
if Finn
wait,
had
no,
a-
Caitlin's also Finn. There we go.
If Finn had a better arc in Last Jedi, I might be voting for him.
You know what? Finn got totally robbed in The Last Jedi because he's a fantastic character in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And okay, so you guys can hate me for saying this, but Canto Bight is the worst, and the whole plot line with Finn and Rose is terrible. And we can move to the next one.
But you can hate him for saying that. So
You can't hate me for saying that.
enjoy that.
Mon Mothma versus Reg.
I told you not to let me write this stuff.
What is this one?
Ray.
Ray. Oh, it's Reg.
Reg. What do you guys think of Reg? Darth Reg.
Reg is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
So Ray versus Mon Mothma. I don't know why we had all these women go up against one another in round 1.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Well,
We didn't plan it.
yeah.
This one's easy for me.
I don't have a good answer for that.
Freddie?
Ray.
Daryl?
Ray.
Ray's one of my favorite characters, so I think Ray's going to win this one. Mon Mothma's great too, but...
Ray wins it in the chat.
All right, Ray wins it in the chat. We're moving quick through round 1.
We are.
Han
Who's
Solo. What's that?
Who's Rev?
Han Solo versus Jyn Erso. Ooh. This is pretty easy.
Jyn Erso would have beaten a lot of the other characters on this list for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, but she does not beat Han Solo.
Would Jyn Erso beat Chewbacca?
Yeah. For me, she would.
Interesting. I'm voting Solo. Who are you voting for, Freddie?
Solo.
Solo.
Solo. Is anybody showing any love for Jyn in the chat?
Monty is.
Monty is.
Are you just trying to stir stuff up, dude? I mean,
he's trying to be counter.
Contrarian Monty.
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to go Solo here in honor of his upcoming movie. Okay, now we've got Yoda versus Lando. This one's super easy for me, but I think this is going to be an interesting challenge in the chat. So, Freddie,
Yoda.
Daryl.
if I can wipe away the prequels, Yoda. I mean, Yoda either way.
You're going to go Yoda either way.
Yeah.
Either way. I'm going Lando. I love Lando's character. I don't know what he's going to be like in Solo, but I think his character is fantastic. I'm going Lando.
Hopefully deeper in Solo.
Well, hopefully a little deeper, and hopefully really charismatic, because not only is Billy D. Williams charismatic, but Donald Glover is fantastic.
Lando wins.
Lando wins! Lando, no love for the puppet.
No, there's some love. It was 50-50 there. But
Who are some of the Yoda voters?
we have Chris Wetzel. We have
Chris?
Mary Baldwin, and Nerd Alert.
Nerd Alert. All right.
Oh wait, Nerd Alert went Lando.
Nerd Alert went Lando.
Where is it? 1, 2. Yeah, no, only 2 votes.
Only
for
2 votes for
Yoda.
Yoda.
Sad Yoda.
Poor Yoda. Poe Dameron versus Qui-Gon Jinn. This one's easy for me too, although a lot of people disagree with me. I think that's my hypothesis. Ready?
Dameron.
Poe
Dameron, all around in the studio. Just as an aside, Qui-Gon Jinn was like totally fine with slavery and didn't just like take out Watto. I just have to say that every time I talk about Qui-Gon Jinn because some people think Qui-Gon Jinn is the best Jedi that's ever lived. I'm here to tell you, I don't think that's true. What does the chat say?
The chat is going Poe.
Poe.
Well, Qui-Gon has put up a fight there.
Who voted for Qui-Gon in the chat?
Monty, Cody, Caitlin, and Nerd Alert.
Monty points out that Qui-Gon has a special set of skills.
Yes.
This is true. He does. I feel like Monty's just going all underdog.
I will find you. And I will force choke you.
And I hope there's no wolves. The Grey is the worst movie of all time. I almost made Daryl spit out his coffee. It was this close. All right, now we're over on the villain side. First matchup is Vader versus Phasma. This should be real easy. Real easy. No matter how cool Phasma looks. She's the Boba Fett of this series, although Boba Fett's one of my favorite characters. So maybe you love Phasma. I don't know. Freddie, who do you vote for?
Vader.
Vader all around in the studio. See, some of these are easy. Some of these are like real easy. I do know that Albie on Facebook commented with his bracket, and Albie is part of the 501st, which are the guys that make Stormtrooper costumes. His costumes are ridiculous. Anyways, he put Boss Vader.
Boss Vader?
Because if you're 501st, that's where you go.
Wow.
I'm assuming Vader is the winner.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Did Phasma get any votes?
No, but there was sympathy for Phasma in the chat.
Yeah.
There's sympathy.
Sympathy.
If only she had fought someone else.
In honor of Albie, I wrote Boss. All right, so Palpatine versus Watto. Palpatine versus the slimy Watto. I'm betting heavily on Sebulba. He always wins.
Annie, little Annie.
Little Annie, is it you? Hey, we have
Palpatine.
Watto's in the house, everybody. Palpatine, Freddie, Palpatine, Daryl.
Palpatine.
Considering that I tried really hard to think of another character to get Watto off the list, I would go with Palpatine.
Vote for me.
I didn't even want Watto to be
I'm going Emperor Palpatine too. I hate Watto.
Akron voted for Watto.
Hey!
The only Watto left.
All right, that's fair. That's
the only
fair.
Watto vote.
Monty makes a good point. He says, how many times have I said that tonight? Monty makes a good point. You make a lot of good points, man. He said Palpatine or Sidious, which is a good point. We were kind of lumping it all together.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm way more in favor of Sidious than I am prequel Palpatine.
I see what you mean. But that is kind of Sidious too, though. You're saying like Senator Palpatine.
I like him
Emperor
way
Palpatine.
better after the robe and the lightning scars and all that stuff.
But he is the best part of the prequels.
Yeah, but that's like putting the cherry on top of a turd and saying it's the best part. I mean,
well, I did tell Sam Wellbaum that I agree with him that kale is not very good, but the buffalo wings dipped in kale are also bad. This was an Infinity War conversation.
If you want to know what that's about, go to our Facebook group.
Go to our Facebook group. That's our plug for the day, because there's random jokes all day long. You're just lucky I'm not reading the entire show in Watto's voice.
Not wolves.
Oh, great wolves. Don't watch The Grey. It's the worst movie ever. Boba Fett versus Greedo, bounty hunter matchup. Now, if we had Paul Verhoeven on, dude has the biggest man crush on Greedo. that I've ever heard of. So that's,
Have you heard of other man crushes on Greedo?
You know, not a lot. It's not often that you hear a Greedo man crush. But Paul Verhoeven has one. Shout out to Paul. We're going to have Paul on an upcoming podcast, too. Freddie, who do you pick?
Boba Fett?
Daryl.
Boba Fett.
I have to pick Boba Fett. It's one of my favorites.
Greedo's only there to
What do we
die.
got? What do we got in the chat?
Boba Fett?
Greedo, I mean, he was a cool action figure,
Any way you
but
slice it,
in the
all
movie,
you
he's
get is
pointless.
Oh, yeah, he's pointless in the movie. And Han shot first, anyways. Hux versus Jabba. General Hux versus Jabba. One of the slimiest humans. Have you guys seen the deleted scene where Han Solo calls him a human? You're like, wait a minute. That's not right.
He originally was supposed to be, right?
I think he was originally supposed to be, yeah. And then when they made him an alien, they cut that scene.
Yeah, and then they put it back in with that stupid little digital rays. Like Han Solo goes,
Go watch the special features.
no.
Well, I mean,
No,
you
I'm just
can
kidding.
if you want to. So Hux, Freddy?
Hux?
I think Hux is a great character. I would definitely go with Hux.
I'm going Jabba. Jabba all the way. But I don't
So
know
you're
if the
voting
chat's
for the
going to
guy
be...
that subjugated Princess Leia.
Well, I mean, do you want to vote for Nazi Hux or do you want to vote for Crazy Jabba? I'm not voting for their character. I'm voting for... I'm not going to be Team Jabba or Team Hux, but...
I just
in
wanted
terms
to
of which
stir
one's
old
better.
wounds up, that's all.
Jabba takes it.
Jabba.
Jabba takes it. Ah, so sad.
It's sad.
By the way, you're going to notice
Hux is great.
that we do not have any droids on here. You're going, what happened to C-3PO? What happened to R2-D2? They're heroes, and they are heroes, but that's another bracket. That's a whole other bracket challenge.
As are creatures like Ewoks and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And we also stayed away from stormtroopers, all the different variations of stormtroopers.
That could be its own bracket.
Stormtrooper.
Kylo Ren versus Jango Fett. This one seems like it might be pretty easy. I think it might be pretty easy. As much as I like Jango Fett, I'm going Kylo.
Yeah,
I
mean,
yeah, Jango Fett's like exactly like Boba Fett, except purple. I mean, that's fine if you like
and
purple.
lamer.
That's great.
And he made Boba Fett lamer.
Dude, baby Boba is the worst.
Go Dad!
That's no good. Freddie, who'd you go with?
Kylo.
Kylo. So we're all Kylo. Let's
Yeah.
see if you're Kylo as well.
The master of the Knights of Ren.
We have one Django. Jim's going Django.
Who is?
Jim.
Jim! Our editorial director! Going
Okay.
Django.
We got a couple questions here that we can address before we move on.
Okay.
One of them is legitimate. One of them I'm barely going to mention. So Cody says, why no Padme? That's a good question.
That's a great question.
I mean, to be honest, Jay and I built this bracket because this was a last minute thing, and
Yeah. We just left.
we just didn't think she was good enough to be up there with all these other ones.
Yeah.
There's only room for 16.
Who would you replace? Here's the question for the chat. Who would you replace on the heroes side of the bracket with who would you add Padme and delete whom? Whichever one it is. Galactic editorial, I have no idea. But up next is Tarkin versus Krennic. This one seems super easy.
Really?
Who would you go with?
I'm going to go with Krennic.
Krennic is having the worst day in the entire galaxy.
I think he's more interesting. Tarkin,
Yeah.
I mean, Tarkin's a classic character,
Yeah.
but Krennic is more unique, I think.
He is unique, yeah. And he has a very intentional activity that he's going after. So I'm going Tarkin. You're going Krennic.
Mhm.
Freddie?
Tarkin.
Tarkin as well. We should have known.
Wait, who did you go with? Tarkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went with Tarkin.
Tarkin in the chat.
Tarkin in the chat. Now, who else went with Krennic?
Nobody.
Yeah, no one. I'm sorry.
Daryl, party of one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
That's okay. Ooh, this is an interesting one. We'll call it the throwaway villains category.
What?
I would agree with that.
What?
Wherein it's Darth Maul versus General Grievous.
Oh
If
my gosh.
they're lucky to last more than one movie. Grievous lasts a little bit longer.
Darth Maul should have lasted longer than
Oh,
one movie.
Darth
He
Maul
was
should have been in
freaking
all
cool.
3 of the prequels. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's my vote for sure,
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
Mall.
Maul. The studio is Maul.
I'm going to the mall.
And you know what? We're all going to the mall
later.
We're gonna get face paint. It's gonna be great. General Grievous, on the other hand, is
That's what you do at the mall.
also Well, if you're Darth Maul fans,
Oh, okay. I see what you're
yeah.
doing.
Red and black face paint.
Everywhere.
By the way, extra points if you can name Darth Maul's race.
I don't remember. From the Clone Wars. I don't remember.
Is he Ray Parkian?
No,
Oh,
although he should be.
took a shot.
Our fan film that we did has one of that race.
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
that's right.
It is not the variant that Darth Maul is. It's the other variant, but check it out. I'm sure Cody will get it in a heartbeat because Cody used to monitor like a Star Wars wiki. But what do we got?
The
Ready?
chat went to the mall.
And did anybody go Grievous?
Yes. Let's see.
Who went
Jessica
Grievous?
went Grievous. Chris
Really?
went Grievous.
Wrote the A first. That's bizarre.
Yep, that's it.
Wow. Zabrax?
Zabrak.
I don't think so.
Yep. Well, it's Dathomirian or
Dathomirian.
Dathomirian should
Dathomir
be-
is where.
Yeah,
That'd
that
the
should be
planet.
the technical answer.
Isn't that
but-
the Night Sisters as well that were there too?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I'm not as familiar with Clone Wars.
Wars.
Snoke versus Count Dooku. This is going to be very interesting. People will be very passionate about this. I have a feeling.
Really?
For me, it's easy, but I think a lot of people will be passionate about this.
Snoke.
I literally almost wrote Count Dookie. That's how much I like that
You hate him?
character.
Oh, really?
I'm definitely Snoke.
I'm definitely Snoke as well. I thought this was going to be more contentious than that, but I mean, Christopher Lee is amazing,
Christopher Lee is
Yeah.
fantastic.
but that character is just no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kate Blanchett is fantastic. But we all saw Thor Ragnarok.
It's true. It is
The
true.
movie's great, but she is not great in
So,
it.
what does the chat say though? Are the chat with us or the chat against us?
Ooh, it's getting tight. 1 second.
You're right. It is contentious.
Whoa, it's contentious. Count Dooku, otherwise known as Master
Wow.
Sifo
I
Dyas.
think
No, I'm
yep,
kidding.
Dooku's
Different guy.
taking it by 1 vote.
Dooku is taking
By
it.
1 vote.
Okay, so let's talk about this though. Caitlin says Count Dooku. Snoke was nothing. That's a pretty bold statement.
Wow.
How
Monty says Snoke
Dooku
was a
doesn't-
joke.
Dooku doesn't seem to be much more than Snoke was,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Raw, untamed power. If you can't go with that, what can you go with? Otherwise, you go with like this, like very debonair dude that also played Saruman. Hey, I'm Team Saruman. I like Saruman, but I can't go with the Dooku. As much as I like Christopher Lee. Anyways,
Yeah, but was Dooku any more important than Snoke was? I don't feel like he was.
no, Dooku's less important than Snoke. Dooku was being used the whole time. Snoke thought he was in control until one of his acolytes outwitted him. That's what you're supposed to do as the Sith.
Yeah.
Dooku was just a pawn the entire time, and he never had any chance against going up against Sidious. Anyways, we're gonna go into round 2, but before we do that, was there any character on the villain side that really stood out to you guys as you were doing this, going like, man, I really hope this character goes far, but I'm afraid of what's gonna happen to him? Was there anyone that showed up there that it was?
So are you basically asking if we love Kylo, but we're afraid Vader's going to beat him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, either I mean, like there's a lot of great characters on this side of it. I mean, there's a lot of great characters on this side of it too. But well, let me ask you a different question then. Do you think that a hero or a villain will win this bracket challenge?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be a
I know
hero.
what my vote is.
I think it's
but
going to
don't
be
know.
a hero will win the bracket
I think
challenge.
it's me a villain.
You think it's going to be a villain?
Yeah.
Oh, Freddie and I are going to have our own battle.
Yes.
Not really. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. I'm gonna use green for round 2. You guys ready for round 2?
Woo!
Let's jump into round 2. Luke versus Leia. The twins. The twins in outright battle.
It's not that bad that they're fighting. There's much worse things they could be doing together.
Right? Oh! You guys got to go out and do this. Okay, after you watch the live show, if you have extra time, go watch the latest. Go to the Star Wars channel on YouTube and watch the latest video. So Ron Howard was the voiceover for Arrested Development, and they do a whole skit where he's the voiceover for Star Wars: A New Hope, and he does a whole voiceover. So he goes he'll say like, for example, he'll have like, Darth Vader showed up looking for the plans. Where are all those plans? And then it shows Leia, and she's like, what does she say? I have no idea. I have no idea what the plans are. She does. He comments that she does. It's great. Anyways, that was a terrible reenactment, but it is worth your time. Luke, Leia. Freddie, what do you think?
Luke.
Daryl, who do you think?
Luke.
I'm gonna go Leia. I'm gonna go Leia on this one.
Leia Poppins.
Leia
I don't
Poppins.
see any Leia in the chat. It's all Luke.
It's
There's
all
one.
Luke.
No, your wife
There's
is
one.
on board with you.
Just
Yes,
it's a
there
good
is,
thing.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
It's a good thing.
Yes. All right.
She's
So
there.
Leia then.
No.
Unfortunately, the queen cannot survive.
Luke, it is Obi-Wan versus Chewie. Obi versus. This one for me is actually a little easier.
It's very easy.
I'm gonna go Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan from Freddy.
Obi-Wan.
Ooh, everybody's Obi-Wan in the room. No love for the one with the life debt. Yikes.
Well, we love him, but he's just not as cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's not that he's not as cool. It's just that he's much more limited. I mean, Obi-Wan can talk, and so he's way
Chewie-
cooler from a certain
Chewie
point of
can't
view.
talk.
Kenobi takes the chat.
Kenobi takes the chat. I was gonna use green. I don't know how I got to them.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan takes it. Rey versus Solo. This sucks because these are two of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that's hard.
This one.
Rey versus Solo. Two. So these, I have three favorite characters, and I never can decide on which ones I like best. These are two of those three. And now I gotta vote for one.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, what do you think?
I'm gonna vote Rey, but I think so.
Oh, Freddie's going Rey. Daryl.
You go. Let me think.
I'm gonna go Han Solo. Mostly because we've seen more of Solo, we've seen more of his journey. I haven't seen Solo yet, so it hasn't been ruined for me if that's gonna happen. And so I'm gonna go Han Solo.
Yeah, me too. I think.
Guys, we got
But
two
it's
Solos,
close.
one Rey. Oh, it's super close. It's neck and neck.
Yeah.
It's all Solo in the chat except for Jessica. Jessica's with me on Rey.
That's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Everybody else is
Valiant
has to vote for
effort,
Han.
Rey. Valiant effort, but Solo takes it. Lando versus Poe.
Whoa.
Lando versus Poe. And
The
some.
coolest characters.
Yeah, exactly. It's a battle of the cool kids. Who will win? Freddie, who do you think in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Lando.
Ooh, Lando. Daryl?
Poe. I'm going
Daryl
Poe.
goes Poe. It's instant clash. The question is, does Lando come with his buddy that has the
Nope.
what is that guy's
The little
name?
fish man.
Why can't I think of that guy's name? The bald guy with the electronics. Oh, Lobot.
Yeah.
Does
Oh,
Lando
Lobot.
come with Lobot?
I thought you were thinking of his co-pilot from Return of the Jedi.
Oh, Neum Nung?
The guy's like,
Lando gets the best sidekick.
That's true. Lando has awesome sidekicks.
you remember his name, but not Lobot.
I do. I know so many names. It's not even funny. I'll get jumbled up in here. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Lando. You know what the bummer is? My last two votes could change after May 25th because we're gonna get a movie with them in it,
Yeah.
and it's gonna mess with things a bit.
It is gonna mess.
What
with
does the
things,
chat
but
say,
Maybe not in a
Freddie?
good
Chat
way.
is saying Lando, but there is two votes for Poe.
Who do we got going? Who do we got going? Poe.
No, only one vote for Poe, and that would be Jessica.
Oh
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Oh no, Marie also says Poe. Marie Baldwin.
Mary also saes
Poe.
Thanks, Mary.
That's it.
Lando.
Lando wins.
We have some really, really brutal matchups in the next round on the hero side. Really brutal. Okay, but we're gonna move over here. We're gonna go Vader versus the Emperor. Boss Vader versus the Emperor. It is the two biggest baddies in the universe. Freddie, who do you think wins this one?
Vader.
Daryl?
We saw the fight on screen, and Vader won.
He's just like, oh,
Gotta
body
be Vader.
slams him
Totally
over.
Vader.
Yeah, I'm going Vader too. Although you'd have to admit that if you're gonna do like who's stronger in the Force, Sidious is pretty strong. May have even created Anakin, honestly.
Yeah,
May have even created Anakin.
but
But
it
we
didn't
all went
stop the
Vader.
big black robot from picking him up and throwing him off a cliff.
Yes.
It's true. What does the chat think?
It's all Vader.
It's all Vader.
No, Monty went with the Emperor.
Monty.
You're a contrarian, dude.
Yeah.
You
Vader
know
was
it.
a pawn who couldn't beat his own son. Wow, Monty, brutal.
Is that a bad thing to not beat your son?
That's a good question.
I know that's not what you mean. But
These are all brutal matchups. Boba Fett versus Jabba the Hutt.
that's easy.
It's easy, but I'm saying the guy's like standing. He's like, can you imagine this matchup? They walk into to Jabba's palace, and Boba's just like, I've had it with you. Freddie, who do you think?
Boba Fett?
Boba Fett.
Oh, Boba Fett. Boba Fett's my third favorite. So I mentioned Rey and Solo. Boba Fett's my third. I'm assuming that Fett's going to take this pretty easily. But some people like slugs. What can you say? Slimy slugs.
Fett's taking it.
Fett's taking it?
Fett's
Any
taking
Jabba votes?
I haven't seen any Jabba votes yet. It's all.
There's this whole like side battle going on in the chat where Monty is sort of bad mouthing the original trilogy, and everybody's like arguing against him, asking him how old he is, and all this.
So remember you said that Monty had some good points? All those points are gone! Monty has no good points if you don't like the original trilogy.
Jabba gets one vote from Monty. There we go.
What? He said he doesn't like the original trilogy.
Oh,
I think Monty is just trolling everyone in the chat.
wrinkle.
In the meantime, we're gonna go Kylo versus Tarkin. Kylo Ren, emo Kylo Ren versus heartless Tarkin. Freddie, who do you think?
Kylo Ren.
Daryl, who do you think?
Kylo Ren.
I love Kylo Ren. I did not participate in the Kylo Ren challenge because no one wants to see that. But I am gonna go with Tarkin.
What's the Kylo Ren challenge?
You didn't see this?
Oh my
There was a
goodness.
Kylo Ren challenge where you know how he is wearing this super high belt
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Dudes were taking pictures with no shirt and wearing their pants like up here. And that was a
Oh.
Kylo Ren challenge. I didn't do it because I don't want
So
to do
the
that.
challenge is how stupid can you look?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. I'm going Tarkin. I might be the only Tarkin. I might be the only Tarkin vote there is.
It's not true. Marie and Jim Baldwin both
Yes.
voted Tarkin. Everybody
Love-
else is Kylo.
I love you guys. I've never met you in person. I love you.
That's true. That's weird.
Yeah.
You guys should meet.
That's right.
Kylo takes it though.
Kylo Ren takes
Master
it.
of the Knights of Ren.
If
All
we
right.
ever see the Knights of Ren,
They'll
hopefully
get
we
their own
will.
movie.
Come on,
That's what
JJ.
JJ wants to give them their own movie.
This should
Good.
be the easiest matchup that we've had yet. Darth Maul
Versus a
Versus-
big pile of Dooku. Dooku.
yeah. I'm obviously Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What do you think?
Maul.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to go Maul on this one.
He's cooler. He's just
How much you want to bet Monty goes Dooku?
everything. I would bet everything that he is.
So many jokes.
Like,
How frequently?
This should be. I feel like this should be pretty easy.
Yeah. It should be.
The Maul takes it, man. The Maul takes
Did
it.
anybody
Maul.
vote Dooku?
No.
Now, if it had been Maul versus Snoke, what would you have said?
Monty votes
Maul.
Maul.
What would you have said, Maul versus Snoke?
I would have said Snoke.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have said Maul still.
Because I want it to be Kylo versus him.
Now, this is when we're all going to start to cry. Because these matchups
No.
will take some of your favorite characters and destroy them. Kind of like Kylo Ren cutting Snoke in half. That's kind of what this is going to be like. Luke versus Obi-Wan. The apprentice versus the master. The blonde-haired kid versus the bearded old man.
And Luke was a bearded old man too. And
Eventually,
Obi-Wan
that's
was
true.
a red-haired kid.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But who do you go with? I mean, I think this one's probably pretty easy for folks, but this is Luke taking on his old master in a battle to the death. That's what happens to them when they go in the bracket battle. If they don't win,
It's death.
they die.
These characters will never be seen again.
It's like bracket Thunderdome.
Sorry, episode 9.
Two men enter, one man leaves. What do you think, Freddie?
Luke.
Luke, easy with the Luke. That's easy in this one. I do like Obi-Wan. I actually like Alec Guinness better as well. But I still like Ewan McGregor's portrayal. So I'm assuming that Luke's going to take it with maybe 100%.
I would love to see.
There's 3 votes for Obi-Wan though.
Who are the votes for Obi-Wan?
Jessica, Monty, and Akron.
Ah, nice.
I would love to see Obi-Wan play. I would love to see Ewan McGregor play Obi-Wan again. Under a different director.
I would love to see...
Which is possible.
I would love to see Obi-Wan play Ewan McGregor. That would be a really interesting movie.
Jessica says Luke equals cliche.
Whoa! Luke equals cliche. That's hilarious. I kind of agree in a little bit. Now this is even more painful.
Freddie, we need to leave quickly after the podcast tonight. I don't want to be around when that comes up again later.
This is a really challenging one because this is 2 best buddies who were almost at odds with one another. By the way, have you seen the meme of the scene where Vader holds up his hand and takes Han Solo's blaster in the dinner room?
No.
I'm gonna use a little off-color language here, and I apologize. But it's the scene where they're walking into this big dining hall, and Boba Fett and Vader are standing there. It's in Empire Strikes Back, and the meme is Vader plans this super nice dinner, then Han has to go and be a dick and start shooting at everyone. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's a funny meme. All right, so Solo or Lando, Daryl?
Solo.
Solo. I love Lando. But
Solo, you can't get.
But not like that. Not that much.
I do think that what do you guys think of this question as we wait for the chat? What do you guys think of like the Star Wars, like all the Star Wars dancing, where they'll have like there's the one game that came out where you could dance as Han Solo and stuff like that. Do you think that hurts Star Wars, or do you think that that's good? Did you know this game?
No.
Oh man, they play the Han Solo song. Yeah. It's not good. It's not
more
good.
Painful.
It's more painful. Yes, I agree with Freddie. It's painful.
The fact that it even had to exist. It's reaching.
Yeah.
It's reaching. That was when Star Wars was at an all-time low.
It's very true.
All right, Han Solo takes it in chat.
And
Monty votes Lando though.
Oh, that's a good call.
Monty votes Lando.
You know what? There could be a shift. Probably not, because Harrison Ford's like awesome. But when we see what Donald Glover does with Lando, we might be like super stoked about it.
Yeah.
All right, Vader versus Fett. The 2 guys who were in the dining hall when Han started shooting everyone. Vader and Fett. This one, man,
This is hard for you,
This is a
right?
little tougher for me because Vader's not my favorite character. I love Vader, but Fett is one of my favorite characters.
What's on your coaster?
Yeah, it's all wet. It's Mandalorian symbol.
Yes.
By the way, did you know that Boba Fett is actually not Mandalorian?
I did not know that.
He has Mandalorian armor that he stole.
He's actually from New Zealand.
The actor, yeah. Baby Boba is terrible. Baby Boba could like make me change my mind. Freddie, what do you think?
Vader.
What do you think, Daryl?
Vader.
I'm gonna go Fett just to go Fett, but man, Vader's awesome too.
Vader takes in the chat.
Any Fets?
No. Wait. No.
J Party
Sorry,
of
Fett.
one. J Party of one. Kylo versus Maul. Kylo.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Emotionless versus.
That would be very
They
dark.
could shoot that still.
That'd be so
Overly.
dark,
I want to
dude.
see it.
Yeah.
Finding out Mustafar would make it even cooler.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just 2 evil space wizards just battling it up.
And Kylo has to be topless with his high pants on.
He's like,
Just it's a method of distraction.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I don't.
What's
Why
going
does that
on?
have to be a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is emotionless versus emo kid Kylo. So what are you gonna go with, Freddie?
Kylo.
Daryl.
Kylo.
I'm gonna go Kylo as well. But although this is a tough one for me because I like Darth Maul a lot. But
Darth Maul's cool.
Kylo is complex, and I like that.
Yes.
Yep, Kylo's gonna take it in the chat.
Any Maul votes.
Yes, Akron, Monty. Let's see.
Jim voted for Maul. Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
that's it.
So then we go Kylo Ren. Okay.
Kylo versus Vader. There it is.
What's crazy about this is that it's all familial in the Final Four.
Oh, that's true.
They're all related to one another. You got Luke, who's the son, and then Kylo is the son of Solo. It's actually Ben. We should call him Ben from now on, just to mess with him. Daryl, what was your original Final Four when you did this? Or what would your Final Four actually be?
Probably this.
I'm going to look it up on my phone because I actually did this
I didn't,
on my phone.
To be honest, I didn't do it before now, but I
you
think
would say
this
that?
is where I would have ended up.
I ended up in the exact same place.
So my Final Four were actually Leia, Han, so that was correct. Leia, Han, Boba Fett, and I had Tarkin.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I had Tarkin.
Wow, he went far.
I was off the map, off the reservation there.
So
but
you have an affinity for characters that don't do anything.
I love the threat. I love the threat of them doing something. Although Phasma didn't make it very far. Phasma didn't make it very far at all. So if you're in the chat, before we do this, go ahead and give us your Final Four. Write down your Final Four of what you had on your bracket. Freddie, what would have been your Final Four? Same here?
It is the exact same thing. Yeah.
Exact same thing?
Yes.
So you got Vader, Kylo,
We
Solo,
got there a little
Luke.
differently, but
Ooh,
in the end, still.
that's crazy.
Solo, Vader, Kylo.
Now,
Oh.
Kylo is the most related to everyone because this is Uncle, this is Grandpa, and this is Dad. So that's
But
crazy.
These guys got along great. These guys never met, but these dudes fought, and those guys fought.
And he shot him out of the trench. There you go. And then he shot at him at dinner time
He
too.
shot him again.
Han Solo is just shooting at Vader whenever possible.
Gotta shoot Grandpa.
All right, so I'm going to do this a little bit backwards. I'm actually going to start with villains and then go to heroes. So Vader versus Kylo. Get your vote in. Vader versus Kylo.
And while you're doing that, Mary threw out something that I want to highlight. Mary said she watched Star Wars Rebels today with her coworkers, and they really liked it. So
I really want to watch that.
if you got, Star Wars Rivals.
Oh,
Not
Rivals.
Rebels.
Oh.
Rivals.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, Star Wars Rivals is the fan film that the Reclamation Society, headed up by this guy, produced.
Yeah.
So go to YouTube and look up Star Wars Rivals and watch it. It's really good.
It's a fun film. It's actually we meant it to be a deep film, so it's supposed to leave you wrestling with what should happen next.
Yeah.
So go check it out.
And hopefully there will be a sequel.
Yeah, it's hard. We need lots of money and lots of time, and I don't have, but I want to do a sequel for sure.
Started.
Vader, Kylo, Freddy,
Vader.
Daryl.
Kylo.
Whoa, that was emphatic too.
Yeah.
If he said that to me, like get away from that thing that I have, that I would back up.
I was tempted to say at the very beginning of this, you can put Kylo here, you can put Kylo here, you can put Kylo here, you can put Kylo here.
Wow, I'm gonna go Vader.
Notice it didn't sound like I was done.
Yeah, you go. Oh, ... More to come. I'm gonna go Vader for sure. So I think the chat's gonna go Vader.
Vader's taking in the chat, but Monty did say Kylo. He beat his master and lived.
So did Vader.
So
though.
did Vader. No, Vader died.
Vader died afterwards.
Oh, and lived. I see what you mean. I'm beginning to think that Monty didn't watch the prequels. Sorry,
The original trilogy.
Yeah. So Vader moves on to face off in a battle against Luke or Han.
The moment that Monty
Luke
votes for
or
Spock in
Han.
one of these, we know he's a fraud.
Spot.
Jump deep at that point.
Yeah. That's awesome. By the way, go ahead and get your votes in. Daryl, who's your vote in this one?
Luke.
Luke.
I am going to go Solo.
I will say this. Before Last Jedi,
Mhm.
I would have also gone with Solo.
Really?
Yes.
So Luke improved for you.
Drastically.
Wow. That's crazy. I do have one question for you guys, but I'll wait until the next challenge to bring it up. It's not related to Star Wars at all. It's actually related to Spawn. Yeah, it's very random. So Luke or Solo? I'm going Solo. They're going Luke. What are you guys gonna do?
Right now it's 50-50. I'm trying to.
Ooh, it is
Oh.
close.
Luke's taking a little bit of lead. I'm still waiting for a few more votes to come in.
Keep voting. Make sure you
It's
keep
probably
voting.
the toughest one. This is the toughest one.
This
Yeah.
is probably the biggest
It's pretty
challenge.
harsh.
Yeah. It is the toughest. Now, I would say though that Solo Rey for me was tougher than Luke Solo.
Really?
I like Rey better than Luke.
Oh,
So
Luke takes it.
Luke takes it.
Luke takes it.
Oh no.
1-3 votes.
Oh.
Classic matchup here. Luke Vader.
Yep.
Do they have to fight?
Yes.
Together they could rule the galaxy.
It's,
As father and son.
As father and son.
So as they answer that, before I ask you guys this, they cast Spawn this week.
Really?
Who did you hope
Oh.
they casted as Spawn? You don't care? Yeah. That's what I said. So this is what I said on
Let's say Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
Why not? Oh no,
Um,
Spawn has to be black, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be, but that's the character is traditionally. been.
Okay. No, I do have a real answer.
Yeah.
John Boyega.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think Boyega would make it good. That ties it into Star Wars. I said on this, there's a post on this. I'm a part of a ton of geek groups. This said like, do we need another Spawn movie?
No.
And I said, I didn't need one, but if there was gonna be one, it has to be Idris Elba as Spawn.
Is that who they cast?
No,
Oh.
they cast Jamie
To-
Foxx.
Oh gosh.
That's...
I was gonna say something positive, but I mean, Jamie Foxx has done some stuff that I like, but not in the comic book.
The movie Collateral, it's not a geek movie. The
Oh, it's
movie
a great
Collateral
movie.
is so good.
It's a
I
great
love
movie.
that movie.
The
Anyways.
one positive thing I was going to say for Spawn is I know that Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn, is heavily involved with it. I think he
Oh.
wrote it.
Oh, cool.
Whereas
That's cool.
all the other stuff that's been done, he's been involved with, but this is like his movie.
His baby.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm going Vader. Freddie?
Vader.
That was not a cut, by the way. I just jumped into the next topic. Daryl?
I'm going to go Luke.
So 2 Vaders, 1 Luke?
My real winner's not there, so I'm going to go Luke.
Because you would go Kylo winner.
Absolutely.
I would have gone Solo versus Fett,
Oh.
probably. I would have gone Solo.
Vader takes it.
Vader takes it!
Yeah.
I said a villain will win. The best villain.
All right, tomorrow, May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day. Go do something cool. Watch a Star Wars film.
Monty, watch the original trilogy again.
Yes, please. Please do that. In the
Go
meantime, we are going to transition into our podcast. What are some other things that are coming up, Daryl, this week? What do we got coming out?
Well, this coming Tuesday, we have our reaction to Infinity War. Reaction's not a good way to put it. So me and Jay and Justin Weaver, for a second week in a row,
Yeah.
we talk about Thanos' character specifically.
Yeah, and there's a big shout out to Monty, because one of the things that Monty brought up that I really liked and we spent a lot of time talking about was, would Thanos have been a villain if God had instructed him to do what he was doing? It's a good question. Also begs the question of, how do we compare Thanos to what we see in the Old Testament about God? And is there a comparison to be made, or is that not fair? If you want those answers, you might have to check out our podcast on Tuesday. So don't forget to check that out. Also, we have some special Patreons going out there. So some of the special Patreons are super cool. We're recording tonight. We're recording our top 10 geek films.
Mm-hmm.
Faceless Freddy. Faceless Freddy.
He'll still be faceless, but he won't be voiceless.
He will not be
anymore.
voiceless. He will be on the show with us, talking about his top 10 geek films. Remember, 1 million subscribers.
TV
What
shows.
do I
shows.
keep saying?
Films. TV shows.
Oh, my bad. It's TV shows.
And then down the road, we have an Incredibles episode
We
coming
have an
out.
Incredibles episode with Josh
with
and
Josh
Angie Taylor.
Angie.
So, and we're gonna have several Star Wars episodes coming up as well.
And keep throwing out your ideas for live shows, because at this point, we're pretty much picking your guys' ideas.
Yeah.
We're letting you decide what the live shows are.
If
so
you
keep
want to
throwing
see
them out.
it, if you want to see it, we acquiesce. Otherwise, we'll keep doing brackets. What's the next bracket, guys? We're gonna be the bracket guys. That's what it's gonna be. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Question everything in your favorite geek stories.
And always seek the truth.
Take it easy.